Let's play a little game. What do you prefer? Coke or Pepsi? Apple or Android? Xbox or PlayStation? Whatever the case, I'm sure there's some wiggle room. If you like Coke and you're over at a friend's place and they offer you a Pepsi, you're either not going to turn it down or you won't go on a giant spiel about how much you love Coke and that Pepsi's for losers. I want to explore the phenomenon of fanboyism and brand loyalty. What makes some people so attached to certain brands that they will defend them no matter what, even if they have to ignore facts or rationality? And how do companies create and maintain such loyal customers who will advocate for them and spread positive word of mouth? The term fanboy came from the video game world, where rival games and players were fanatical about their game. They could never see a negative about their game, nor could they see a positive about the other. Fanboyism isn't limited to video games. It can be seen in other domains, such as technology, sports, music, fashion, and even politics. Fanboys are people who have strong emotional attachment to a brand or a product, and they will often engage in heated arguments with others who prefer a different brand or product. They also tend to buy more products from the same brand, even if it's more expensive or inferior to the alternatives. But why do people become fanboys? What drives them to be so loyal and passionate about a brand? Well, there are several psychological factors that can explain this behaviour. One of them is the endowment effect. This is the tendency to value something more just because you own it or you've invested into it. For example, in experiments where people were given a mug and asked to sell it or trade it for another item, they demanded a higher price or a better item that they would have paid or accepted if they hadn't owned the mug. This shows that we tend to attach more value to things that we own, even if they are not objectively more valuable. If you're enjoying the video so far, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like. These kind of videos take a little while to put together, so if you enjoy this kind of style of video, consider subscribing to see more in the future. Thanks again for watching, let's get right back to it. Another factor is the choice supportive bias. This is the tendency to retroactively justify our choices and to remember them more positively than they actually were. For example, if you were to buy a car of a certain brand, we will tend to focus on the good features of the car and ignore or forget the bad ones. We also tend to exaggerate the differences between our car and the other cars, and to think that our car is better than the average car. This way we can feel good about our decision to avoid any regret or cognitive dissonance. A third factor is the social identity theory. This is the theory that we derive part of our self-esteem and self-concept from the groups we belong to. That might look like being proud of being part of a certain nationality, a religion, a profession, a hobby, and we may also feel proud to be part of a certain brand community. These brand communities can provide us with a sense of belonging. They can also influence our attitudes. If we identify with a brand community, we'll tend to adopt the norms and values of that community and to conform to the expectations and opinions of other members. We also tend to favour our own groups over other groups and to view them more positively and more stereotypically. This can lead to in-group bias and out-group degradation, which are the tendencies to favour our own group and dislike or devalue other groups. These psychological factors can help us understand why some people become fanboys and why they are so loyal and passionate about their brands. But how do companies create and maintain these fanboys? There's several marketing strategies that can help them achieve this goal. One of them is to create a strong brand identity and personality, and an image that can stand out from its competitors and appeal to target customers. The company should also have a distinctive and recognizable logo, same with a name, a slogan, a design. One of the more notable examples of this is how Apple has a strong brand identity and personality that is based on innovation, creativity, simplicity, and elegance. Its logo, name, design, and style reflect these attributes and help it stand out from other technology brands. Another strategy is to create a sense of exclusivity or scarcity. This means the company should make its own products or services seem rare or hard to get. This can increase the perceived value and the desirability of products or services, which can make customers feel more special and privileged. For example, if you look at Nintendo, it creates a sense of exclusivity or scarcity by releasing its products in limited quantities or limited regions, by making them available only through certain channels or platforms. This can create a lot of hype for its products, and makes the customer feel more satisfied and proud when they get them. Another strategy is to create a sense of community and engagement. This means the company will encourage and facilitate the interaction and communication among its customers and between its customers and the company. This can create a sense of belonging and loyalty by advocating among the customers to make them feel more connected and involved with the brand. These marketing strategies can help companies create and maintain fanboys who will not only buy more products of the same brand, but also spread the word of how good that company is, defending it from any criticism or competition. However, these strategies have some drawbacks and risks. For example, fanboys can become too extreme or fanatical and engage in aggressive or unethical behaviours, such as hacking, boycotting the other products, or even harassment. They can also become too resistant or blind to any change or improvement, and reject and ignore any feedback or suggestion from the company or from other customers. They can also become too dependent or addicted to the brand or product, and neglect or sacrifice other aspects of their life, such as their health, their relationship, or even their finances. What do you think about brand loyalty and fanboyism? Have you ever dealt with a fanboy? Let me know in the comments. While we're on the topic of branding, I have an update for you. Going forward, I will be retiring the Violent Gene name. From tomorrow, I'll be starting a new chapter as Brother Az. I'm also thinking of dropping the fortnightly scheduled videos and just releasing them when I'm happy with them. You might also notice that the content will change up a little bit. If you enjoy these video styled essays, you have nothing to worry about. They won't be going anywhere. I'd just like to work on other projects as well. This is just a whole revamp that I've had in mind. Thanks for listening. Until next time, look alive, you're on in 5. Later guys.